HatchetRadio.com, eventslevel.com.
Join eventlevel.com, and together we can rule the galaxy. You're tuned into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked.
It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
If you ever get hurt and you feel that you're going down, this little angel is going to whisper in your ear. He's going to say, get up, son of a bitch.
What did you say to the kid? It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Final Round Show is broadcasted live Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in at eventlevel.com. iPhone users tune in at ip.eventlevel.com. BlackBerry and Android HTC users tune in at bb.eventlevel.com. The Final Round Show is a syndicated webcast of the Indie Republic Network.
Fight fans, sports fans, are you ready for the greatest sports show in the world? It's time for the Final Round with Sinister and Master Wills, featuring special guests Deep Freeze, TV, Blaze One, J-Rod, Rico, Ragamuffin, Leffy, the Toy Maker, DJ Watts, and more. Get ready for the ground and pound on eventlevel.com. The final round starts now.
Yo, what up, everybody? You are tuned into the Final Round Show here on eventlove.com. We got a stacked show for you tonight. It is Thursday, April 7th. We're about to pop it off. Have a lot of people, a lot of guests in here, a lot of analysts on here, about to bring it to you live. I got Sinister with me. What up, Sinister?
What's going on, Master Wills? It's great to be back here on the best sports show, coming to you live from Westgate Lounge here at Harry's Pub. Let them hear it, everybody. We are broadcasting live on Ustream. We got the Celtics game on. We got a lot of shit to talk about, from mixed martial arts to NASCAR to NFL. We got Mike Vrabel getting arrested for stealing 6 beers, and I'll tell you right now, the conspiracy has begun. The NFL owners are sitting back and they're letting the players get into all types of trouble because they know it makes them look bad. Tom Brady is building a $25 million house, and he's supposed to be representing the players. Come on, let's get this show popping.
Oh, man. And I'm very excited to have my guest, Bill Davidson and
Chief 187. Hey, thanks for having us, guys. I gotta throw a big shout out to Boston Red Sox fan. Way to start off the season 0-6.
That's what I was about to say, man. That's what I was just about to say. Is like, what's going on with the Boston Red Sox? 0-6 to the Cleveland Indians. Oh, man.
Well, don't forget they got swept by the Texas Rangers. You got to love their high-priced pitching staff they got going on in Boston. Looks like they're helping them out. John Lackey, 22 ERA. What's the deal with that?
Cleveland still has a team? Are you serious? I thought they went to Oakland.
Cleveland doesn't have anything.
Hey, blame the catcher. I'm putting all the blame on the catcher.
Hey, he's the one who calls the games.
Get Veritek back in there. That's my opinion. Get Veritek back in there, and we'll be back in the win column.
Hey, we also got Rico and Leffy from HatchetRadio.com joining us.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? How's it going, ladies and gentlemen out there at Event Level and Hatchet Radio, as we're syndicating live over at HatchetRadio.com. We don't have the Ustream, though, so you have to go to Event Level for that.
And I got the Toy Maker joining us. Are you there?
What's going on?
What's up, man? So we got a stacked house. And I want to get back to that, Sinister. What's going on with the Red Sox, man? I mean, what's the deal? It's looking rough.
Well, they're saying the problem is the pitching. They're saying it's the communication between the pitching staff and the catching that's going on. Veritek isn't your full-time catcher no more. They've got a rookie in there, and it's one of those things, that do you send this guy down and bring Veritek in and make Veritek full-time, send this guy down to the Paw Sox, and maybe get him some time in there? But as far as I'm concerned, this is a guy that should have been ready to go from day one. So I blame the catching coach, and he's going to be the guy to answer for it if they can't get a win in the win column.
That is heated. I mean, this is big time. This is big for baseball. The last time they had a record like this was it like 95?
Yeah, you got the Yankees coming to town, so you got to get this shit popping. You got to get this back on track.
Phil, what's your take on that?
I think we can't jump to any conclusions this soon. You're only 6 games into it. My main concern, obviously we talked about the pitching. Lackey, Lester, and Buchholz have a combined 3 strikeouts. That has to change. You need a defensive-minded catcher back there. Tampa Bay's 0-6 too, and don't forget they were supposed to be in the running for this division as well. So I think it's a little too early to be raining on Red Sox fan just quite yet. Let's give it 80 games before we give them too much crap.
Yeah, to be honest, that's exactly what helps them out, the fact that Tampa Bay is 0-6, because my prediction was Tampa Bay was going to be the spoiler in this division. So, that as long as they're 0-6, the Red Sox still have a chance.
Well, I'm with you on that. I actually picked Tampa Bay early, too, was my preseason prediction. But with Manny batting under 100, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Damn those steroid tests.
Yeah, and speaking of steroids, you got Barry Bonds in his case, his perjury case. It's now in the hands of the jury. He's saying the defense saying the prosecution doesn't have enough evidence to even prove that he was lying. But we all know that dude roided his ass up.
Come on.
What do you think?
It's just a matter if he knew or not. Because if he knew, then he lied in front of a grand jury. The guy should go to jail. But I think the best part to come out of this trial was listening to his ex-mistress talk about him threatening to cut his head off, or her head off. That was severely entertaining, and I hope that gets replayed on court TV, because I would set my DVR for that.
That'd be amazing.
That's a lifetime movie in the making.
Right?
He just tried to cut my head off. It wasn't fair, guys. He's all ruined it out. He was gonna Chris Benoit me.
What's that, Leffy?
I haven't heard this part yet.
Well,
Somebody was gonna cut somebody's head off. What?
Well, look, if you're gonna go before a grand jury, just admit it. Come on. I mean, that's all it takes. You can admit it, and it goes away.
At least take the Fifth Amendment. Don't say I didn't take it. Well, I mean, you got to protect your integrity.
Yeah, you do have the option. You either tell the truth or you say I cannot speak at this time.
And keep in mind, the Baseball Hall of Fame judges your morals and ethics off the field as well. So
hey, look,
to a grand jury,
Pete Rose.
Fame.
Hey, ask Jim Rice. Jim Rice was held to the last absolute vote because the media hated him. But here's the deal, though. You know something? Mark McGwire did the same thing. He got up there and he said, I can't remember, and he pled the Fifth. So maybe Bond should have did exactly that,
Exactly.
I played the Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Pleading the Fifth doesn't... Pleading the Fifth doesn't necessarily look good on you. It doesn't necessarily look bad, depending on the context in which you use it. But the act of lying and being caught in a lie is a criminal offense.
He just needs to claim net neutrality. Straight up. I'm net neutral.
That's where you screwed up. Hey, MJ, or Toy Maker.
I think baseball is one of the last few sports that they really do look off the field as what your future is set up to be. Again, with Pete Rose, as they brought up, he lied for so many years about betting on sports or betting on the game, and he finally told the truth without them really pulling it out of him, and they still won't accept him because of the fact that he lied just off that. So Barry is in for a hell of a lot of trouble with them if he thinks he's going to just make amends.
Oh, man. Hey, Toy Maker, we were talking about this earlier, and let's talk about what's going on between the NFL the NFLPA. You know, what's going on with the owners? What's going on with the strike there? The lady's gone into the case.
It is in a pile of trouble, so to say, right now, because even though there was not a bad ruling yesterday, was the first day of the court case between the union, or now the certified union, and the NFL. The judge, they have pulled a different judge on the case.
And who is the judge?
I believe her name is Judge Susan Nelson.
Now, you think a woman should not be?
No, not that.
Wow! On the spot, dude.
They were supposed to have a different judge on that case, a guy who's been on the case since the 90s, and he's usually ruled in favor of the NFLPA. But they got a new girl on there, and she somewhat sided with them, and she could have ended this entire thing by saying, decertifying or doing the lockout is illegal. I want to force negotiations. Instead, she says, I'll make a ruling in two weeks, which means, let's say she rules in favor of the NFLPA and says that a lockout's illegal. You still got 2 weeks of waiting plus another 4 to 6, whatever, 3 to 5, whatever you want to call it, of appeals. So we're looking at June right now as the earliest, unless they just called today, late news, they called for a mediation again. They want to get back into talks. So it's up in the air.
So, Sinister, what's your take on this?
Well, you know something? Here's what I've said from day one with this lockout. You got to get everything done before the draft, because my feeling is if they don't have no agreements made, if the lockout isn't ended by the draft, you can kiss the season goodbye. You're too far in. Guys are not going to be ready for the two-a-days come the end of June, so you got to get that going. What bothers me is what's going on right now is this whole thing, and I don't know if you guys have been watching the news. You've been getting a lot of players, a lot of NFL players are in the news for just little things in the law. You got Mike Vrabel, 6 beers, leaving the bar.
Radar. I never heard of that.
Yep, he got busted with 6 beers leaving the casino. You got another player from Dallas who was arrested for having his pants too low. You had another player arrested you had another player arrested because he didn't have a prescription for his pain meds, which we all know, these guys all know doctors. Here's the funny thing. This is the funny thing about this. If Mike Vrabel, if there's no lockout, this whole story with Mike Vrabel doesn't even hit the media. You know why? Because the owner of the Colts is going to get a call from the owner of the Chiefs, and he's going to say, hey, my guy got tapped up down there at one of your casinos. Hey, look, do me a favor. Hook this guy up with some season ticket opener and let him off. And this is the stuff that you don't hear about. Here's the thing, what's going on right now with the NFL lockout. The NFL owners are dad. The NFL players are the teenage son that thinks he knows every friggin' thing. But sometimes you got to get your ass thrown out the house to realize where you are in life, and that's exactly what's going on. You don't have dad to cover every little thing. And that's why.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Chief 187. I have a question about, can the NFL stand a season that's not going to happen in time? Are they going to be able to recover, or is this going to be like baseball? Are they going to lose the momentum? I mean, I know football is #1 in the country. I know that. But if they're going to have this strike, if they're going to have problems and they're not getting fixed and the guys aren't going to be able to report for their training and for all the preseason, is this going to be a problem, or is they going to recover easily?
I think you'll see football come back, and one of the reasons why football is so successful is because it's one of the most major sports outlets out there with the shortest season. 16 weeks. It's probably the only sport that when it ends, you crave more of it. When baseball's done, you're pretty much like, frick, I'm so friggin' glad baseball's over. Basketball, it's kind of the same thing. And the same thing with hockey. You're kind of like, wow, I'm kind of glad hockey season's over. Football is probably the only sport. When it's over, look, when the season ended and this year's Super Bowl was over, dude, if it wasn't for The Walking Dead on AMC, dude, I would have been in like NFL rehab. Like,
damn.
Bill had like a armband on at WhooBazoo, so that's all.
Yeah, I got to back you on that. I totally hope they don't go to the 18-game season. I got to tell you, this being the month of April, I'm looking forward to the draft.
Well, that's, you know,
if I watch 4 days of draft, that tells you what kind of football I watch in this house.
Well, here's what. Yeah, go ahead, Toymaker.
I think it will recover, but a lot of problems right now is the rules. The rules is what can hurt the game. The whole thing about changing the whole kickoff system, changing the yard lines, to where you start and finish, whatever. a lot of this rule changing is making a lot of people mad. Especially the newest, which is what's hurting the negotiations, is that Roger Goodell, instead of trying to help a negotiation get done, he's talking about HGH testing. Like, are you serious? Like, are you really going to bring that up just to make?
He did that to keep Brett Favre out the league. He didn't want Brett Favre coming back. So he said, "Hey,
here's my take on it. Here's what suffers, and this is the sad part: is what about all those people that come in and work at the stadiums and account for that income? All the lowly people that come in and clean up,
the cities, the restaurants,
and
hotels,
the concession stands. I mean, you're talking about an economic slowdown we're in for how many years?
Outside the stadium is the biggest key. All your restaurants, hotels, all their businesses get cut down for that season.
And it's just going to devastate an economy because these people are arguing over, $1 million. It's just a sad situation.
Absolutely.
Get out.
I need to get some perspective because this is going to devastate. It's like the ripple in the pond. It's just going to go out so far. So let's get those jackasses back in and negotiate, and let's move on.
That's an interesting fact, Senator. You say Foxborough is going to lose $1.5 million?
Yeah, if there's no football played here in New England this year, Foxborough is set to lose $1.5 million. And see, here's the thing about Foxborough. Foxborough is not a Boston. Foxborough isn't a New York. Foxborough is a small town, not many people. They got a state police barracks there. $1.5 million loss for a town like Foxborough. That you're talking about, that's their livelihood for taxes right there.
All right.
Question.
Yeah.
What do they do with these stadiums during off seasons?
Concerts.
They're going to bring in. They're going to bring in some other little league.
Soccer. Why don't they try that? Hey. America's doing pretty shitty in the soccer field, okay? And I mean, the rest of the world is playing it. We're the only ones with this gridiron crap. So.
It's funny you bring it up about the off season because when hockey had their lockout a couple of years ago, a couple of tours.
Hold on, we got a caller on the line. Nice. Hey, caller, hello?
Tanner, how's it going? This is Brett Favre.
Well, what's going on, Brett Favre?
I've never taken any human growth hormones. You have all seen my penis, okay? My penis would be gargantuan if I took that shit.
Oh, man. Are you on painkillers or something, Brett Favre? You sound really messed up, man.
Okay, my Levi's, I ripped my Levi's ass crack and I burnt myself smoking weed, okay?
Oh, God.
I just want to know, do you still got those Crocs?
Brett Favre, are you coming back next year?
Play the
fifth. All right, see you later, Brett Favre. Thanks for calling in. Hey, we got DB on the line. What's up, DB? I guess DB's getting situated. What up, DB? DB in the house. Now, here's my question for you, Leffy. So I think you are the answers. What is more likely to break, the NFL, the NFLPA, this lockout? Who's going to come to agreement? Them first, or the Republican and Democrats over the budget?
Oh man!
For real? With all the bitching and, frankly, the Republicans want to look at nothing but their point of view, which, granted, has a lot of ideology behind it, not so much money in the thinking. And the Democrats all want to think money, 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 money. So we're going to lose a lot of ground on a lot of things. And you know me, I like to ride the fence on different topics.
So you got it. I got it.
So I'm going to say the NFL lockout's going to end.
Government first.
You say government, Toymaker. Leffy, you say the NFL.
You're going to shut down. If you're going to shut down the tax revenues office and not give people tax refunds, there's going to be a riot before they get even a week into it.
Should have got mine in early, dude. I got lazy.
You can handle them in and they'll do them, but they won't give you any money back. They can take money in, but some money they can't give out.
Wow. Wish I would have got that in early, man. Oh, dude. Anyway, what I want to do now is I'm going to take a quick break. We've been getting really heated, going really strong. I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back with some more sports talk. We'll be right back with DB, Chief, Bill D from WhooBazoo, Sinister. We're all coming right back. We're going to take a quick break, so keep that browser locked. You're listening to The Final Round on EventLevel.com.
You're tuned into The Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked. Join EventLevel.com and together we can rule the galaxy.
Eventslevels.com, hatchickradio.com,
Hey.
WhooBazoo Radio.
Goes out to all my ladies. Don't take a word of this wrong, girl. We don't mean no disrespect. We just trying to say we like what you sit on, girl. We like what you're pooping with.
Shake that ass all up on me, just as ornery as you can. That can. She like that, make a Mac Daddy slap money in your hand. About to go, cause the club gon' close in just a few. Can't get past. Duty of the duty, make a booty shake a thanks from me to you.
I want a 5'6", thick girl, fat in the ass and pussy smell like cherry dip. Boy, look at them thighs, got me surprised and about to flip. Girl, call you Miss Hoochie cause you can do me any place. Or a 5'5" Latina mama, Sita, making my misdemeanor, just like us up and throw away the Kia. I call her Sophia and drive her like a Kia. Have her say, hey papi, like my name was Jay-Z. But then again, I'm ready, able and willing to take a iced out, powder wearing brat type bitch that ain't afraid to ask my ass where the hell I been. And after I leave, I have her thinking he gon' do it again. But when I get back, she feel me like the days don't end. Say sorry for asking and she'll never ask again. Give me any of these hoes who knows my life, then I'll still be B.I.G. P.I.G.
That ass all up on me, just as ornery as you can. That can. She like that, make a Mac Daddy slap money in your hand. About to go, cause the club gon' close in just a few. Can't get past. Duty of the duty, make a booty shake a thanks from me to you.
Man, little mama over in the corner, dog. Oh, Lord. I don't think she know what she working with, man. She look like she's sitting on about 22s, maybe even 24s. You need to tell her what to do with it.
Wiggle it, jiggle it, just a little bit, get 'em giddy with them skittle titties, riddle me this, I'm any skinny penny, pinching degenerate kitties, enter with any fitting limit of spending, pending them getting a happy ending at the end of the day, get 'em worked up, then send them away, them young bucks don't appreciate the beauty of the booty like me. A new set of titties really make her feel pretty, but don't be silly, it's plastic. Nothing more thrilling than the cop a good feeling on behind when the thighs are nasty. No matter the weather, the booty gets better with every better cheddar that you let her indulge. Busting out a sweater don't do near as much for my bulge. Shake that ass all up on it, just as ornery as you can. That can. She like that, make a Mac Daddy slap money in your hand. About to go, cause the club gon' close in just a few. Can't get past. Duty of the duty, make a booty shake a thanks from me to you.
You're tuned into The Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked.
Let me hear it back. I won't keep it, but I just want to say I love fun, son. That's it.
WhooBazoo Radio.
hatchickradio.com, eventslevels.com,
Join eventlevel.com and together we can rule the galaxy.
Getting close to time and I'm about to reveal just how damn excited that you're making me still. You know it, but I'm gonna show you anyway, cause I know those words only mean so much. Before I'm running out of words to say, move slowly, cause even though I hate to wait, and it's just gonna make it better when I'm finally inside of you, girl. It's like I'm in a dream, the kind I lightly wake up and have to wash my sheet. inside of you, girl, like I'm in a dream. Kinda like it. Wake up and have to wash my sheet. When I'm inside of you, girl, like I'm in a dream. Kinda like it. Wake up and have to wash my sheet.
You're tuned into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked.
Hey yo, man, Charlie Murphy Freeze Love. EventLevel.com, check it out. They plant the seeds in his hat, sparkling flame.
Event Level TV.
What record is that from, huh? Begin. What's that? Tupac. They plant the seeds in his hat, sparkling flame. Hail Mary.
Hail Mary. Run with me.
Hail Mary, can come to the sea. They plant the seeds in his hat, sparkling flame. Made him go kind of crazy, just a dirty shame.
Join EventLevel.com, and together we can rule the galaxy.
Yes, sir. What up? You're back. It's the Final Round Show on EventLevel.com. Crazy heated show. Log on to EventLevel.com. Check out the Ustream down below. Press play. You can see Sinister over there about to chow down on some crab cakes. That's what they do in Boston.
That's what we do.
Crab cakes and football. That's what we
And
got.
pussy-ass boneless wings. What the fuck?
Oh, man. Get out of here. All right. I want to move on to the next subject here. And, man, a lot of heat going on. I'm, Beatmaster Wills, I'm located in Lexington, Kentucky, which is Wildcat country.
Okay.
Our Wildcats made it to the Final Four. Big freshman team. If we would have came over UConn, it could have been our year. Who knows? But, what happened? It was a crazy year in the NCAA bracket. Butler got up to the championship. They were a highly underdog, and UConn wins. So, what did you, DB, what did you think about that UConn-UK game?
Well, UK definitely played a terrible game. You can't go out and not score points and hope to win in March at this time. But you look at it, and there's a lot of things to be said about Jim Calhoun. If you watch him on the sidelines, it kind of looks like part of the time he's not even really into the game. But somehow, in every tournament that they were in, they were undefeated. Going back to the Maui tournament, undefeated. Big East tournament, undefeated. And then the NCAA tournament, undefeated. And in tournament format or games that are either going to make or break them, send them home, or keep them playing, they won every single one. And, Kemba Walker is a big part of that.
Bill.
I think UConn's defense, man-to-man, was just too much for the bracket. Kentucky's good. They're going to be good in years to come, obviously, with a bunch of freshmen on the team. But it was UConn's defense that made them go through this stretch.
Toymaker.
Bill hit it right on the nail on the head, because UConn played just as bad as UK. They made 2 3-pointers in both Final Four games, total overall. They didn't even score 60 in both games. It was the lowest scoring Final Four, I believe, ever. And it just came down to defense. They had a lot of experience. Kimba's a junior. They had a lot of upperclassmen. And when you try to have a team that needed a point guard to lead them, who shot 6 for 23, and another freshman who went 0 for 5 from free throws, it's not going to happen. UK, when they first got to that game, they were showing them, they looked like they had stage fright, and UConn didn't.
Right.
UConn knew, even though that they weren't scoring, that they were not going to fall behind because they've been there before.
Now, my Facebook went rampant. Lot of Louisville fans and Kentucky fans. You guys don't understand. They go to war down here. They will cut you.
Oh, yeah. Somebody getting cut tonight.
So, a lot of people are saying the Big East gets a lot of undeserved attention, a lot of undeserved rankings, and they're way overrated.
Did anybody watch that Big East tournament? Because it was off the fucking chain. I love it.
Yeah, I would second that too. Especially the run they had in the tournament for March Madness. You can't discredit the Big East.
You can definitely discredit the Big East. Record number of 11 teams in the tournament, and they were all fucking gone except the best one very, very, very quickly. And
yeah, but look where UConn finished in the Big East. They weren't even the top team coming out.
They had 9 losses in the conference too, didn't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, they won the conference tournament, but that's the thing about the Big East. Just because there's a lot of close games doesn't mean the teams are better. There's just more parity within their league. All the games are close, and so somehow that says to people that that's a good league, but I really disagree. There's leagues that are way getting underlooked that are producing, like, the Mountain West had a better showing than the Big East. So the Big East is definitely overrated, and they have been for the last 5 years. I don't know.
It's hard to pick who's the best conference in basketball. Like football, you usually get a good sense. SEC, fast and big at the same time, while Big East is just slow and they sit down. But basketball, it's so hard to tell because, one, it changes every year, it seems, and two, you get these teams that have 9 teams in the tournament while their conference have like 2 or 3, and you're thinking, well, who's really the better conference here?
Well, my vote would be for the Big East, and if you're not going to take that as a vote, then I'd pick the Big 12.
Who's your team, Bill?
I'm University of Colorado. I was a buff, played rugby there.
Snuffed from the tournament.
Yeah, we got screwed, but then again, losing to Alabama kind of makes me feel like we didn't necessarily deserve it when we got handled by them in the NIT.
I think snuff.
What was that? DB?
Snuff is a tobacco product. I think he meant snub.
Busting balls. I love it. So who do you think out of this class, who's going to be the top draft pick when you're coming out of the NBA?
Kyrie Irving's number 1 right now.
I mean, do you guys agree with that? I'm looking at Kemba Walker, and I'm like, wow, the way this dude plays, like, they're comparing him to Iverson, they're comparing him to this and that. Like, I wonder if he's going to be like another Jordan-esque type player, the way he plays with his team, the way he lifts his teams up.
The reason he won't go number 1 is because he peaked at junior year. It took him all his 3 years to get to his highest level. Kyrie was bringing in headlines even when he was out the entire season. This guy came in after missing 22 games and led the team the first 2 tournament games.
This dude just led his team to a championship. Led his team. And he was the leader on the team, man. That's what you want.
Gotta know how to win.
Yeah,
so,
you gotta know.
I mean, since John Shire led Duke, should he be number 1? I mean, you
he
think
didn't
of what you
He didn't
want.
win a championship. I can say that.
But
why are we talking about Duke? They went home a long fucking time ago.
they were like last year though. They won the championship and they were not number 1. Your champion doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the number 1 player in the draft. It's whoever scores the most points. Now, while Jimmer was that, but no one really trusts him to have Kemba ahead of him.
Oh man,
because he shot 13%. He shoots up 50 shots a game.
Oh man, hey, shouts out to Kemba Walker doing his thing, and I know my Cats are going to come back hard. Maybe we'll see the Buffs in the. Buffs
next year. We're young.
Yeah. Always look to the next year, man. I want to talk about the NBA and what's going on in the NBA. The Lakers lost big time to Golden State. Kind of crazy. And the Heat lost to, what was it, the Bucks? The Heat lose to the Bucks.
There you go.
What's going on?
Doing a lot of losing.
They've been losing a lot.
And I'm enjoying it.
I bet.
LeBron's mom is beating up valets in Miami.
Drunk at 4 a.m.
Well, can you blame her? Look how her son's doing.
There's a lot of hostility going on in that family, that's for sure.
So I'm thinking, hey, Sinister.
Yeah, what's up?
So we're talking NBA here. What's the Boston score right now?
Right now, we're looking at the screen. It's 48-45. Chicago's up in the third with 10:44 left to go. Holding it down. Hopefully they pull this out. Gain some ground.
And so how do you feel about what's going on in the East right now with the Miami losing?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough down the stretch. They need to get the Celtics need to get some of their guys back healthy. That's the problem with the Celtics. They made that trade, and then Kersic gets hurt. He's not back. Now, this is a guy that they brought in there to pull down offensive rebounds. When people were all upset about that trade with Perkins, when you went back and looked at it on paper, I understood why, because this guy was supposed to be so strong under the boards offensively that you couldn't let that trade go. You had to take that trade. So with him hurt and just coming back, you need to get Shaq back in there, because that's a guy that, provides that eight rebounds, maybe 8 points a game. That's the type of stuff that helps you out in the playoffs. So,
well, I mean, hurting in basketball, hurting in baseball, man. It's a rough ride.
Thank God they got the Patriots.
Thank God they got the Patriots
for now.
Right.
So, Toy Maker, you're saying Chicago, King of the East, right?
Chicago, as of right now, I have them being the King of the East. I think the Celtics are the only team that can take them down. The Heat are 0-3 against the Celtics and 0-3 against the Bulls. They are, in my mind, no longer contenders to even win the East. I don't care about when playoffs come. If you can't get it together by 70 games, who says you're going to get together 2 weeks after that? I just think of the Bulls.
How do you feel about that, Bill?
I look at what we're 5 games left. It's just coast time for anybody who's got a top 5 seed already.
So these games they're just coasting it, trying not to get injured.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep your players healthy, keep their legs fresh. And I don't know why we're worried about the Eastern Conference when the Lakers are going to win it all anyways.
Look at the Lakers. They just got. Ooh. What do you think about that, DB?
Definitely the Lakers aren't doing shit this year. Number 2, the East is where it's at. The East has the best 4 teams in the league, in my opinion. And let's get real on it. You know what? I'm glad that I can say the same thing that I did at the beginning of the season as I am right now in 70 games. The Miami Heat needed a little while to work together and to figure everything out. And I still stick to what I said 6 months ago. When they get in the playoffs, you better watch out. I don't care if they're 0-3 versus Boston right now, and I don't care if they're 0-3 versus Chicago right now, because those games mean nothing when it comes to playoff format.
It still took Boston a year to get their big 3 together. I see the same thing out of Miami. I see an early first round show.
But here's the problem, though, with Miami, though. They got no bench, and the Celtics have a bench, and that's what got them their championship. They had a deep bench. Now they got a starting 5, which is much better than the starting 3 down there with the Heat. The Heat don't have no depth, and that's where they're going to get hurt in the playoffs.
I don't even say their starting 5's complete. I guarantee next season they're going to have 2 new players to replace Bibby and who else they have revolving a power forward.
What was up with Bibby and that stupid foul at the end of the game, man? That was ridiculous.
Nah, he's weird.
Chief, what's your team? Who's your team?
Oh, well, I'm New York, so we got the Knicks and we got the Nets because I'm actually New Jersey. But, the Knicks are doing pretty well, I think.
They're getting it together.
I gotta say, being in Denver, we really love the New York Knicks. We thank them very much for taking Melo off our hands.
Nuggets came out great in that trade.
I wouldn't be surprised if they make the Western Conference Finals. They're too deep at every spot.
Wow. Yeah, moving on. You guys heard about LeBron James's mom, didn't you?
You talking about the valet?
The valet.
Who's she sleep with now?
Oh, wow!
Oh, man.
That's not even.
Sorry, did I say that about LeBron James' mom?
Out loud?
That's not even like her first offense.
Out loud
About
again?
his mama.
She's had a problem with alcohol before. Like, that's not the first time. Now, first time beating up a parking attendant, but not the first time not being publicly drunk at 4 a.m.
When she beat him up, did she claim that?
What's that?
I want to know why the person actually had the balls to say, yeah, she assaulted me. You think that if, an older lady, punched you, you would be kind of afraid to say, well, she assaulted me, I got beat down. I would have been like, no, I'm cool, I'm shaking it off. But she's up her age. I'm not going to say that she got the best of me.
Yeah. No way, I'm going to say it because I see a couple $100,000.
That's exactly right.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah, I think everyone stop signing that.
Hey, send me a Hummer my way.
Hell yeah.
What'd you say? You want a Hummer from LeBron James's mom? Is that what you just said?
She gave her son one when he's in high school. So.
Whoa.
Easy.
right. Show's turning to a going into the gutter. Here we go. Chief.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Now, give me a little background on you. You have some ties into the NASCAR.
I am NASCAR.
Okay.
I am NASCAR. Yeah, I'm a NASCAR fan from 1990 and moving forward. I live, breathe, and live NASCAR. I think Sinister and I have that in common. Do we not? I think we do. Yeah, baby. So that's my niche, man. That's what I like to talk about. I like to write about it, and I've attended races and watch them, and that's where my niche is. So anything you want to talk NASCAR, I'm your gal.
I gotta tell you, I miss NASCAR so much. I threw a bunch of Skittles in the toilet and flushed it just because it reminds me of a race.
Oh,
Bill, have you been working on that all night?
That's a great analogy. I like that.
That was great.
Good. That was good.
Well, you know what's funny here?
I write my own material. Thank you.
Bill's not just
funny?
a face.
I've been a big NASCAR fan for years. And, you know, I grew up watching the Indy races and stock car races on Wide World of Sports when I was younger.
Too.
My son up here actually races on the kart circuit. He's making a little bit of a name for himself. He's got a little bit of a fan base up here between family and some friends. He's racing over there at F1. He actually took second place last season, and you know, I'm gonna give big props to my son. But this past weekend, you know, they were in Martinsville, and for the second week in a row, Kevin Harvick takes the checkered flag. But here's the deal. What the hell is going on with Jimmy Johnson? You know, he's got problems. He's getting penalized. He's beefing with the crew, the pit crew, and it's like...
Here's my take on this. Sinister, here's my take on this. There is nothing to worry about when you're Jimmy Johnson. You are 5-time defending champion. You do not need to start strong in the beginning of the season. You're working things out. You're trying new things. You're just feeling your way through because you don't need to have big guns at the beginning of the season. Let everybody else sweat it. He's already in the chase. In his mind, he's already winning that chase for this year. I don't have any doubt that he is going to be a contender, and he's probably going to walk away with number 6. Now, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, they're all running to get that cup away from him. I see this is going to be a year of deep contention, but it's really Jimmy's to lose. And we were talking about that Tuesday night on WhooBazoo in our Around the Cooler. This is Jimmy's to lose. He's not sweating anything right now.
Not only is Jimmy going to win this year, he's going to win next year too. You got to keep in mind he started slow last year. It's the same thing repeating itself all over again.
That's right.
It's NASCAR going in circles.
I think he's sweating a little bit. I think when you saw the stuff that happened this weekend, the little miscommunication, a little bit of an argument between him and his crew chief. My feeling is I think that these guys are a little bit ahead of Jimmy Johnson this season, just a little bit.
Well, I think people were saying that last year, though. I really do, because if you look at Jimmy's statistics, you know, it looked like Kevin Harvick was going to walk away with it, or Denny Hamlin. And at the end of the season, because Jimmy having a bad day, he comes in the top 10. You're having a crappy day and you're coming in 7th? That's bullcrap. You're never going to lose the championship that way. You're going to win it because every time you're right in the front. When you're having a bad day, you're having a good day, you're coming in top 2 or 3. So Jim Johnson, I'm not worried about him.
Well, he's third in the standings right now, I believe.
Yeah, he's not blowing engines. He's not getting the flat tires. You don't see him in the wall. There's nothing to worry about. He's
He's right where he wants to be. He doesn't need to be number 1 right now. But Kevin Harvick is impressing me to no end. I want to see this cat. I want to see him out there winning a 3-peat this weekend in Texas. I want to see him take the freaking field by the balls and bring in the best we can see in NASCAR right now. Or Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch needs a championship, and this could be his year. If he can dethrone Jimmy, I'd love to see that too.
I just wanna get this in. Where I'm from, they call it trash car.
Where are you from, Saturn?
That's from Madisonville. How is that trash car there? I feel like that's like the breeding ground of NASCAR.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was most impressed with Dale Jr. It's finally nice to see him crack in the top 5 again.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But it would have been nice to see him get a win. I mean, the momentum he needs are wins, not, top 5s are good. A second place is good, but it totally defeated him. When he had those post-race interviews, he was downcast, man. Instead of being like, he was like, I gave it away. Not
He was the bridesmaid of NASCAR last season. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. He was always on the outside looking in. So
yeah.
I don't want to get carried away here. I don't like watching Junior win. I like watching all those fans in the stands crying in their beer.
Well, a lot of them are still only after him because he's his father's son, and some of them are still behind him because, well, he's cute.
He's cute. He's a nice guy. I think that's what a lot of what his fans currently like about him. He's a nice guy. He's the kind of guy you just want to be like, hey, Dale, we're rooting for you. But, you know, he's not a jackass. He's not a punk like Kyle Busch. But, hey, that's why people like Kyle Busch, too. There's just all kinds of fans out there. You got to gravitate to who you identify with. And a lot of people like the punk ass of Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, and a lot of people like nice guys like Carl Edwards and Dale Jr. So
why don't you ladies go ahead and say it like you mean it? He knows how to fill out a fire suit.
My husband's a race car driver. He fills out a fire suit better than any man I've ever seen.
Wow.
The only thing I don't like about Jimmy Johnson is him blowing up at his crew. I think that's a really bad idea at any point. Don't piss your crew off because you need those motherfuckers.
That's right, you do.
If the 5-time champion wants to come yell at me, I'm here 5 days a week.
But he can't become the 5-time champion without a damn good crew behind him.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Trevor Bayne?
I think Trevor Bayne's cute. I mean, what do you mean? He's a cute kid. He's a kid, and I think he would tell you the first thing. I'm a kid, and I had the luckiest freaking Daytona 500 anybody ever had, but I'm going to go back to Nationwide and cut my teeth because I am not ready for the big show. He's running several races with the Wood Brothers in the Cup Series, but he is not, and he'll tell you, he'll be the first to tell you, I'm not looking at championship material right now. I'm just looking to learn.
He needs to learn how to use his brakes. He's fine on a racetrack where all you do is hit the gas pedal, but he needs to learn how to use his brakes.
He needs to learn a lot. But he'd tell you that. But it was a great way to start the season in NASCAR to have Trevor Bayne, this fresh-faced, really cute, really sweet little boy win the race because it's a great story. It's fun to pedal around on a talk show. But,
he didn't even know how to get to the winner's circle, which was
that was
awesome.
That was funny, yeah.
I love that.
And you know what I was hoping for, too? Even though his name is spelled a little bit differently, I was like, all these thoughts went through my mind. I'm like, maybe this kid will make a name for himself. Maybe DC will become his sponsor. He'll have a nice big Bane on the hood of his car from DC Comics. That would have been so awesome.
That would be cool.
You need to call them. That would be great.
Yeah, well, you got a brand new Batman game coming out this year, and you actually have a new Batman movie coming out, and Bane is in that movie. So
awesome.
Big stars in that new movie. I'm excited. Except, did you hear the news? Sorry to completely just change the subject. But he's going to do that. He's going to do that new Batman movie in July, and then he's going to do a reboot after that.
Who?
Christopher Nolan, the director. He's going to do the new movie next summer and find an ending that you can't add on to it. But then he's also planned a reboot to do it a different spin on it, like a whole different Batman story. Yeah, that just came out. I mean, I was actually floorboarded when I heard that he's been rebooted afterwards.
Now, well, let me ask you about this. I'm going to go ahead and switch gears. No pun intended.
Good sense.
That was a really good segue, though. I give you credit for that.
That was good.
So today was the Masters, and of course, everybody's got their eye on Tiger, seeing what's going on. What do you think about Tiger, man? Is he ever going to get back? He's 6 back. I know it's still early. It's the first round. Is he ever going to get back to the Tiger of just killing everybody on the green?
I'll take that. Yes.
Yes.
I'll back it up with a point behind it. He's got a 22-year-old girlfriend, which means he's right back on track.
He is right up there.
I mean, he won 4 at such a young age. You'd think that, golfers have a lot longer career than many athletes, that he would just be able to pick it right up anytime he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Not when he wants, but like you said, he got that girlfriend going. That's what he wants.
So you think he's just living the life right now?
Yeah, I mean, just let the media back off. Relax. You're not pressured to win, even though some people say you are. And you're making millions anyway from Nike. You don't really need a paycheck from the PGA at all.
And you're not in rehab for sex anymore, so now you can just live your life.
I've always wondered how they do that. How do you like? You just tie them? You like tie them to a chair and bring in beautiful women and say don't move, or what's the deal?
It's like a Clockwork Orange. Yeah, you have to just
exactly.
DB, I know. I'd be playing better golf if my girlfriend had a 22-year-old girlfriend.
Nice. DB. Nice.
Yo.
What's your take on that?
Tiger definitely is still the best skill-wise, and definitely got a lot of stuff on his mind. But he really has a long time to continue to succeed and get back under himself. I just think he's winning.
He's winning Charlie Sheen style?
Yeah, like exactly.
For about 24 hours, he wasn't winning with that Detroit show. I heard it was a bomb, but apparently he got it together in Chicago.
I'll still take the field if you're saying Tiger or the field. I'll take the field.
Take the field any day. After last year's championships and the last PGA Championship and a couple other big matches that they had, I mean, the field just dominated last year. That was all the young guys came out and just started.
Mm-hmm. Word up. All right, we're going to take a quick break real quick. Be back with some more sports. We're going to hit it hard. We're going to hit some MMA up, too. So stay tuned for that. You're listening to the Final Round Show on eventlevel.com. Keep that browser locked.
You're tuned into the Final Round Show.
I always do that shit.
Every time you think and feel, you're resonating a frequency which is making the energy around you resonate to the same frequency. What you give out is what you create.
Vibrations and waves.
WhooBazoo Radio.
MagicRadio.com. Eventslevels.com.
Hey yo, did hip hop, a star play on the bench, can he get clocked? I mean, he tried to hold it in, but then his lip pop, and then a sudden flame. But that's expected from a brain full of octane. Shows go from concerts to services, a prophet in his prime, dog, no matter how I'm wording it. I feel bad cause these freshmen never learned a lesson. Learn how to score a ringtone, but never learn the essence. The closer I get, the more I hate it. The blogs don't taste it unless you're one of their favorites. Pause. And I ain't even saying I'll save it. Ellie, tell mother she abandoned her baby. I almost signed out. Grew up spiritually and put the rhymes down. That I did. It came back with a new tone. Chanting love, power, joy, shalom. Love, power, joy, shalom. Love, power, joy, shalom. And I was thinking I was already home, but the eviction notice fell from the throne. So I packed up my fear and my Mac and my Chucks. Now live like a fiend dude, searching for a buzz. And this is beyond entertainment. Trying to take success home no matter who she came with. Hey yo, feel free to vibe. Hey yo, let me dig a little deeper. Listen, say black, I ain't pushing the Maybach. None of my homies is seeing pockets like A-Raps. And I'm not willing to let them start the gorilla, living like villains and mentally killing innocent children of the heavens. But they do have kids, and just to give a good birthday, they won't see theirs. You see that? I roll with good men that avoid street scams and all of these hood trends. But before you clap for them, things ain't easy. Most of them beloveds are waiting for my achievement. That's a lot of weight, I'm developing scoliosis. To know that the soul to your right's only hope is the art you create. Dog, that'll get you focused. And if you notice, homie, I ain't budge yet. Hip-hop divas, I ain't impressed by your jets. Leprechauns and bad diamonds in the buttons on their vests, while they brother sharing the same bowl as the pets. Flush, 9-6, I gotcha. Talk black, I gotcha. Black Al, I gotcha. Uncle Steve, I gotcha. Cap Duke, I gotcha. Yo, Joe, I gotcha. Mama, I gotcha. Of course.
Please stay tuned for a public service announcement featuring
What's good, yo? This is Rolling the Blunt 101 right here. This is for all my niggas who they mans keep laughing at them because they can't roll. Get your shit right, player. Now this blunt right here, I already split the Dutch open. You split the Dutch straight like that, and you only gotta lick one side. I hate all you niggas that love licking all over the Dutch, you Batiman. Listen, only gotta lick one side. Use the least amount of saliva as possible. You passing this to your homie. Take this extra paper, you try to get behind this leaf right here. You see that? Got your leaf right there, got your fucking paper right there. I got way more leaf than paper on this motherfucker. Once you got that shit spread evenly around your blunt. So what I do is I close this leaf first. Some niggas really don't give a fuck. They just close their shit. Always close your blunt on the outside first. And make sure you wet your joint. No homo. Alright, man. Now once you got it like this, you know what I'm saying? Usually take some. I got some scissors right here. If you got a little sun sticking out the end, push that down in there. And then, you know what I mean, if you's a rich nigga, you cut the end off. That's how you roll a blunt, feel me? You know what I'm saying? This is Blunt Rolling 101 for all the fucks out there. You know, man. Holla at me. I'm gonna enjoy this. You enjoy one. WhooBazoo.
You're tuned in to the Final Round Show. That browser, join eventlevel.com, and together we can rule the galaxy.
Hey, what up, everybody? WhooBazoo Radio. All right, what up, everybody? You're back with the Final Round Show on eventlevel.com. That was Blunt Rolling 101 with my man Zoo Breeze, who we did an interview on the main event, which is featured every Wednesday at 8 o'clock on eventlevel.com. Also playing, spinning, was Vibrations by my man Nemo Achita. Go to nemoachita.com. He just released his new EP, Digital Dan, just recently. So if you want to hear some hot music, go down and grab that right away. Coming up, we're getting ready to do an interview with King Tony, a stunt biker. Tell me a little bit about him, DB.
King Tony, I actually met him at King of the South, which is a big event in Tennessee for stunt riding. Really, really unique individual, super great performer. He does more shows than competitions. But really just an all-around unique guy.
All right. Let me go ahead and get him on the line real quick. Let's see what King Tony's about here.
You're tuned into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked.
This is Tony.
What's up, King Tony? This is Master Wills. You're live right now on eventlevel.com on the Final Round. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, man? Very excited to have you.
I'm excited to be on here.
All right. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Well, I go by the name of King Tony. Kind of a name I didn't choose. Just it's kind of an inside joke years ago. Kind of got the name. But I'm a street bike freestyle stunt rider. I started out on sport bike freestyle about 8 years ago. And then 2 years ago, I swapped over and started riding for Buell and Harley. And then about a year and a half ago, when Harley Davidson dropped the Buell motorcycle brand, I switched over to Harley Davidson, riding for Landers Harley in Little Rock, Arkansas. And everything's kind of stepped up from there. And then also I own my own company called OD Crew Productions. And we throw motorcycle extreme events, whether it be competitions or shows, a little bit of everything. Some extreme good times right there.
Awesome, man. And what kind of bike do you ride?
Right now, I'm riding a 2002 Harley Davidson Sportster 1200. It's kind of modded up and decked out. Kind of went with a little bit older Harley. I mean, it's not that old. It's only 2002, but went with that just because it's a little bit more traditional looking and traditional sounding. Now all the Harleys are fuel injected, a little bit more modern. All the Harley guys just kind of relate to it, and so the sport bike guys. I mean, everybody likes it. It's loud, it's wild, it's on the verge of mass destruction, and it's good times, and people seem to like it a lot.
So, Tony, this is Daniel. For everybody out there, you know, this is a sports audience, but they don't really know about our sport. They don't even really know too much about your sport. So explain kind of what it is that goes on and the difference in a show and a competition.
Okay, yeah, I kind of start from the beginning, you know. The sport of sport bike freestyle, you know, it's kind of like skateboarding, you know. It kind of started underground. It started on the street, so it was definitely dangerous and illegal, I guess you'd say. Yeah, definitely. And, you know, everybody wanted to turn it into more of a serious sport, so we all kind of went to a controlled environment, a parking lot, and then it became, at that point, it became a sport. People started throwing competitions. And the difference between a competition and a show rider, you know, competition, you train. A top-level pro rider is going to train, you know, if you got a 3-minute run to throw down at your competition, you're going to go to your spot and train 3 minutes at a time. You know, you're going to practice your 3-minute routine nonstop. And a show guy, kind of the same thing. A show guy, you know, he's got to be a little bit more flamboyant and be a little bit more exciting to the average person because he's going everywhere. I mean, I do shows from everything from Sonic, McDonald's, to corporate events, to FedEx Freight, I mean, to bike rallies. So, you know, just trying to keep it a little versatile.
And you put on your own event too, right, in Arkansas? Once a year?
Yeah, I do it here and I do it in some other states, and it's called the Yo Face Stunt Sessions, and it's pretty much a big show. We also do competitions too, which is called the AFS Amateur Freestyle Series.
Now, let me ask you, what is your favorite trick? What is one of your favorite tricks that you do?
Well, used to, it was going to be something wild, like keeping your eyes closed, doing a wheelie with your feet over the handlebars, something crazy like that. Now it's all about drifting, you know, coming in real hot, sliding the bike sideways, and when in doubt, throttle out, make sure that tire's spinning, and make sure you're not flipping through the air.
Oh man.
And this is a sport that was for years and years and years and years dominated by Japanese motorcycles. I didn't know that you made the switch to Harley. Have you talked to Jason Pullen and gotten with him about how he uses the Harley bike?
You know, when I first got into stunt riding, I was on a Suzuki, and my second event, my first event was in Houston, Texas, called the XSBA, and that's what got me hooked. So at that point, I heard about Stunt Wars in Florida. So I made it to Stunt Wars, and man, when I was there the first day, I was kind of overwhelmed. All the guys were really good. I was just starting out. And then here comes this guy out of this big 18-wheeler trailer, and he pulls his bike out on this huge, massive ramp, and I thought he was going to drop the bike off the ramp. And it ended up being Jason Pullen. And back then, man, he was rocking a Harley. He was doing everything and better than what the other guys were doing on the sport bikes. And he was like a sideshow act. I mean, I couldn't even really believe what I was seeing, so I didn't even really pay enough attention because I just couldn't. I was in awe. You know, I was kind of a starstruck, sort of, but not. You know, I was even scared to watch, man. It was weird. It was crazy.
It is weird seeing a guy doing stunting, doing these tricks on a Harley, and then these big flames shoot out the back of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jason Pullen, man, I give props to him. What some of the guys are doing today, Pullen was doing, you know, 7-8 years ago. So, dude, he's awesome. Dude, definitely hats off to him. I don't really get to talk to him much. I just talked to him recently about doing some shows in Cali with him, hiring him to do some of my Yo Face shows. But besides that, I mean, we don't talk too often. Super nice guy.
But, Tony, tell us a little bit about your personal style. You stand out in the crowd of 1,000 riders extremely. And
also, let me say this to you also, Tony, is like, I think you have the best haircut in the business.
or lack of.
Yeah. What is going on there? It's like a ponytail.
You know, I think these days you'd call it a mohawk dreadlocks is what I have. I have hair on top of my head, and they're all dreadlocks. And I've had dreads for about going on 12 years now, I believe it is. But as far as my personal style, man, I wish I could say that it's all determined by how awesome I am on the motorcycle, which I'll take a little bitty, teeny tiny little bit of credit on that one. But mainly, man, I do stick out, dude. I mean, I'm the guy out there doing a wheelie and my hair's damn near dragging the ground. Get caught up in my wheel and sprocket. People are like, man, how can you do that, man? Dude, you're going to get your hair caught in your sprocket, man, and it's going to be gnarly. And I'm like, man, that's where the hair went that was on the side of my head. That's why I ain't got no hair no more.
That's one way to scalp a guy.
That's incredible, man. Incredible.
There's one trick that you do that I haven't seen anybody else do, and I think it was kind of like at the end of your run where somehow you come in and you stop the bike. The throttle, I guess, is locked because the back wheel keeps spinning, and then you turn around backwards on the bike and you give the crowd a nice little pose. How'd you hook that one up?
Well, first thing I'm going to ask is, where did you see that?
I saw it King of South. So, 09.
No, it's called a kickstand burnout, sort of. When I'm in my run, what I do is I flick my kickstand out when nobody's really paying attention, and I try to make sure that the left side of my bike, which is the side of the bike that the kickstand's on, is usually facing away from the crowd, so they don't see me do it. And when I come out of a trick, I'll all of a sudden just hammer the brake, stop the bike, it balances on the kickstand, and I'll jump up either on top of the bike, lock the throttle, or, turn around. And the crowd usually thinks the bike's just kind of floating there. It's really not. It's on the kickstand.
Let me Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Nice.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
I was going to ask you, have you ever just bit it, dude? Have you ever just...
You got to have some great broken bone stories.
Seriously.
Oh, God, I'm trying to think of where to even start. Okay, we'll go to the not-so-safe one and a little bit illegal one. I had a local show in Arkansas years ago, and I just had to do just a quick show. So I got on my bike, and I took off to do the show. Normally, I trailer my bike because if anything happens, you put it in the trailer, you go home if you break something. But I decided to ride my bike to the show. Oh. And I'm a big person of don't do wheelies on the freeway, don't do anything. And that weekend was a Arkansas Razorback game, so there's tons of cars stopped on the side of the freeway to get off at the exit. So I was like, man, I got to rock a wheelie for these guys. So I put my feet over the handlebars, I clutched it up, and I'm doing what's called a high chair wheelie. And I started to get kind of bored. I was like, man, I've been in this wheelie forever. It's not cool enough. So I go to kick out my legs. And when I did it, I kicked my dang kill switch, and the bike slammed down and threw me over the front. The bike ran over me at 75 miles an hour, and then as I'm tumbling down the freeway and I'm seeing car lights right behind me, I get up, I jump up, I'm missing a shoe, I go to run to my bike, and my bike nails a van on the side of the freeway.
No!
So some guy jumped out of a car, hands me my shoe, I put my shoe on, I go to the van, I beg the guy not to call the cops, he decides not to call the cops, I tell him I'd pay for his van, then I get on my bike and ride it away, and it's barely running, the wheel's crooked. I get to the end of the freeway, and I'm like, man, I'm hurting. My buddy checks me out. I pull my pants up. My whole knee is ripped off.
Oh, crap. That was visual.
Yeah, my shoulder's dislocated, and then I think a few minutes later, I think I pass out, and then my buddies take me to the hospital, and then I woke up in the hospital.
And you weren't even paid for this event.
Yeah, I didn't even make it there. I didn't even make it to the event at all. I didn't even talk to the promoters till the next day, and luckily they were pretty nice, and it was a foolish act on my part, but it was a good story.
It is a great story.
Oh, crap. Are there any safety things that you do to keep yourself when you're performing? I mean, I'm from a racing background, so the racing safety precautions are just enormous now. So even the worst wrecks on television, the guys are walking away. Are you able to, in the type of work you do, have any kind of safety precautions?
We wear, normally we wear blue jeans, maybe a Kevlar reinforced blue jean, which just has reinforced hips and knees and stuff. But we wear some low profile boots or kind of like a high top style shoe that's reinforced in the ankle. Then we wear a jacket that has basic spinal protection, elbow and shoulder. I don't always wear my jacket. I probably should, but I'm a big helmet guy. Helmet and gloves. No matter what, you won't catch me on my bike. I mean, in the old days, I probably did. Yeah, I didn't put it on, but it's very rare you'll ever see me without a helmet on. Even if I'm just driving the bike around the neighborhood, I'm going to have my helmet on.
And that's good advice. But for her question, what amazed me, I went to every competition in 09, late 08, and early 010. But these guys are so good that doing the things that they do, you would think you'd have to wreck all the time. I saw very, 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 very few crashes, and most of all of them are very controlled. It's amazing what they're able to do and still not go down.
Yeah, I mean, everything is, it's kind of a controlled mayhem out there. Sometimes when you see a guy start to come off a bike, what you're going to picture in your mind by seeing videos on YouTube or something on the TV is that things are about to get super wild. The guy's going to go flipping. They're going to see blood and guts, and the bike's going to be tore to pieces. But we've wrecked so many times that we've almost learned how. We go down at a certain way. We can tell when we're going to wreck, and when we do, we position our bodies in a certain way. We position the bike in such a way that it looks like we're just dropping the bike over.
So you guys
it's really wild.
You guys have learned like different techniques over the years that like a lot of people are teaching like their kids when they're doing stunt bikes with regular bicycles. Like if something goes wrong, you throw the bike the hell away from you. You don't hold on and try to correct.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. On average, if you've got a little bit of speed going to you, get away from the bike, man. You don't want to get caught underneath the bike and rolled up with it, because bad things can happen at that point. And your bike can be replaced. You can't. So you got to be careful.
Good point.
Go. Were you about to ask a question there, Chief?
Yeah, I really was. I wanted to know, in professional sports and any kind of sports, there is always this practice session. You got to get out there and know what you're doing and prepare for any kind of situation that happens when you're performing under the spotlights. How about you? Are you actually practicing your tricks, or is everything just second nature? I don't imagine that you ad lib. You must have to practice your tricks.
Absolutely. No, I do. I don't practice as much as I'd like to, just because I am so busy with doing shows and also working. I sell Harleys on the side when I'm not on the road. So It kind of fills in that negative void right there to make sure that I can, take care of my family and everything. So, you got to stay up on your bike. You can't be foreign to your bike when you go do a show. You got to make sure that you're on the up and up, because one thing is you can hurt yourself, but another thing is if that bike gets loose, it can possibly go into the crowd. Even if there are barricades, a bike can jump a barricade.
Holy crap.
Very true. And
but you're in the splash zone.
I wanted to add something to that too, Chief, for your question. Watching practice is unreal, because it's really wild watching these guys in competition, but in competition there's one guy out there. I've seen practice where there's 50, 60, 70 guys riding in the same surface and not hitting each other. All on wheelies, circle wheelies right next to each other. One guy flying through like a lot of different guys. And they're all pretty careful, but if you watch it with the naked eye, you would be like, wow, this is unreal to see these guys all together.
All right, King Tony, we're gonna have to call you back and do this interview again. So I just want to ask you a couple more questions here. What are you doing? Where's your next event?
Here in Arkansas, I've got a show this Saturday, and it's called Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's a college town. It's a tourist town. I got a show there.
Awesome.
And then the 23rd of this month, I got a show in Little Rock at Landers Harley in Little Rock. And then I go on the road next month. So I'll be at XDL in Nashville in June. And next month, I'll be in Winnemucca, Nevada. So I've got about a 3,800-mile round trip next month. So, I mean, I'm going to be all over the place. I mean, it's going to be a good time.
Hey, hopefully me and Daniel are planning to come out to that XDL event in Nashville. So
yeah, we'll see you there, man. And good luck on your other things.
Yeah. And is there any?
You better see me there.
Lay it down.
And so, is there anywhere where people? Do you have anything you want to promote? Sponsors, places where people can find you on the internet, or anything like that?
Absolutely. BikeStylesInc.com. Chubbs with Bike Styles have been there for me for many years. Freestyle Ingenuity. Landers Harley Davidson, absolutely for giving me the opportunity to ride on the Harley Davidson. And check out my website, odcrew.com. It's odkrew.com. Check it out.
Awesome, we will.
Incredible.
Also, remember the Yo Face stunt shows if you got a grand opening, anybody.
All right.
Oh yeah, yo face.
All right.
Tony, embrace that king title. I mean, that's where it's at, man. You're royalty.
Yeah, see what, I'm gonna send you guys some stickers. You just slap it on your cars and support me.
Oh, please send us the
Please do.
stickers.
Swag. Need the swag.
Hey, hold on. Don't let. Hey, Tony, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
Real quick question. You know, I'm a big fan of stunt bikes and stuff. I actually own a Suzuki TL1000R, but I was wondering, I'm thinking about getting ready to trade that in for a Can-Am Spider, and I was wondering if anybody's perfected any tricks for those bikes yet.
No, man, you're gonna be the guy. I'm waiting to see.
I see a lot of stoppies.
A lot of stoppies. Yeah, you're gonna be stopping a lot. I tell you what, though, I'll hire you. You perfect one trick on that bike, and you're hired. Yo, big stunt shows all the way.
I like the look of that bike, you know, and that's kind of almost. I'm kind of leaning towards that. I got two boys, and you know, going on the highway 90 miles an hour to 120 is, you know, it's time to slow it down a little bit. But still a pretty fast bike. I test drove one last summer, and it's a 996 Rotax motor, so it's a pretty quick bike still.
Yeah, you and my grandma will be riding the same thing. So.
That's wrong.
I'll take her back to the cemetery when I'm done, DB.
Oh, man. Anyway, King Tony, it was great having you, man.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
We'll see you at...
I'm honored, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Hey, Tony, one last thing, real quick. We'd love to have you on WhooBazoo. That would be great.
Just let me know what I got to do. We'll hook it up.
Super. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, guys, we got Peter Zimbor chilling up in the Ustream, and we're about to we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back with some MMA. Hope Peter's ready to throw it down because he's about to get in on it on the final round show on eventlevel.com. So keep that browser locked. Stay with us, and we're going to be right back.
You're tuned into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked.
See, I didn't say Louser.
R&B Godzilla. You can tell them cause bye-bye. Cause they ain't gonna do you like I do you. And if he say he can, he'll damn lie. Oh yeah, she gon' love me for this one. She love, yeah. Hold on real quick, let me get at her first. Sit down on the couch, take your shoes off. I'm gon' flex my body, you gon' flex your body. Like a roller coaster, I'ma make you scream like whatever, so that you know what it is. Get him ready to do your body like this. He can't hit it to the left, he can't hit it to the right. He can't put it in the middle, he can't hit it all night. Every time I'm in it, make her toes curl. When I say I'm about to beat it up, girl. When I'm the king of the bed, I'm a beast in the bed. She love it. Every time I take that thing down. When I get to her slow, she like that. When I do it with no hands on her, like a rubber band on her pop. I love it when she 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 she know I'm the man. She roll it up fast as she can. My baby like a stripper, coming down the pole like girl, if you keep on doing it, you gon' need your hair did, need your nails did, cause I'm going in. Girl, you gon' come out looking like a hot mess. They gon' know we had sex. She love it. Every time I'm in it, make her toes curl. When I say I'm about to beat it up, girl. When I'm the king of the bed, I'm a beast in the bed. She love it. Every time I take that thing down. When I get to her slow, she like that. When I do it with no hands on her, like a rubber band on her pop. your toes done. And I love it, ooh, I love it, girl. I love it, ooh, said I love it, girl. If you keep your wig straight, keep your nails done, keep your lips glossed up, keep your toes done. And I love it, ooh, I love it, girl. I love it, ooh, ooh, I love it when she ooh, ooh, I love it when she ooh, ooh, I love it when she ooh, I love it when she ooh, 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 ooh, I love it when she Why you tryna tap out, girl? Give me some more. Ooh, baby girl, give me some more. Yeah, I ain't finished it yet. I just got started. Just got started. Why you tryna tap out? Ooh, baby, give me some more. Yeah. Don't be tryna act cute. I promise I'ma get you happy.
You're tuned into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser.
Word from our sponsor.
Attention all men. This is your boy Hot Meat, and I'm wondering, are you tired of the same old smelly strip clubs in the seedy parts of town, where all the dancers got bad breath and itty bitty teeny beeny wings? Then you need to get your big balls up off the couch and come down here and let me sit on them at the Tri-State's sexiest all-male review, Dang-a-lang, home of the big dick swangers. Oh, yeah! Come on down and get you a fat face full of greasy man meat while enjoying our delicious all-you-can-eat buffet and drink specials like Meaty Mondays, 2-for-1 Teabag Tuesdays, and everyone's favorite Sunday Wednesday. With long necks are free till 9, and you get to watch me shit into a bowl on stage. No cover if you mention my name. Just tell them Hot Meat sent you. Hot Meat, the only club in town where the booty holes ain't brown. So hot. Located off exit 69 downtown Terre Haute. Ding dong.
I'm so excited.
Ooh, man. Shout out to our sponsor, Hot Meat. Getting in. Anyway, man, shout out to Kid.
Where he fits.
I'm still waiting for my free entrance.
Anyway, shouts out to King Tony and his kneecap falling off. Ugh.
No, that was a good story.
Believe that, man? That's crazy. Oh, man. Hey,
stop mentioning it, because I get this feeling every time I think about it.
We're making a little fun. So I want to get it in right now. Checking out the Ustream, you see Sinister not sharing his chili and nachos with Peter over there. And I want to get in. I want to welcome Peter Zimbor to the show. What's going on, Peter? How you doing,
Peter.
Man?
Good evening, guys. Feed Peter some more. He's really small.
Oh, man.
Hey, Peter.
Hey,
how's it going, guys? Guys, literally the last thing I said to myself, or I said out loud to someone before I left my home, was I threw on the sweatshirt. I very nonchalantly combed my hair and said, "It's radio, no one will see me." I get here and he's got Ustream set up so that anyone over the World Wide Web can see what we look like.
Awesome.
So, I apologize if I am disheveled, but I think I exhibit a rugged sexiness as I look at myself.
You look delicious.
You're looking pretty, man.
You look really delicious. I want to eat you.
You look like an older Justin Bieber, man. You're looking sexy.
I look like an older Justin Bieber? That guy's got some game with Kim Kardashian, and I was actually just talking about her during the break, so that's cool with me. I'll take that. I'll look like a Canadian teenager.
You're talking about Kim Kardashian. What's going on? She on the?
Apparently, there was some photos taken of Justin Bieber and Kim Kardashian on the beach, and the only reason I know that is because I guess Justin Bieber got bombarded on Twitter with a bunch of really pissed off 13-year-old girls, and so did Kim Kardashian. And I was like, no shame in that kid's game. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Is he dating some Nickelodeon star?
My future husband.
He must be an ass man. That's all I got to say. So, we're about to get into the MMA portion of our show, which is hot, dude. Like, there's so much stuff going on in MMA. A lot of things I want to get into, but one of the big headlines that I want to get into right off the bat, Thiago Silva pissed dirty, man.
He didn't just piss dirty.
He didn't piss dirty. He tried to put his poodle's piss in the.
He put poodle piss in.
And tried to get away with it.
Now, are you sure it was a poodle?
They just said it wasn't
Yeah,
human.
they just said
Was not human.
I want to know how he got that.
That's an interesting.
I need you to follow the dog around.
Yeah, you paid hard for that.
What does that do, man? Like, you're talking about. We interviewed John Doomsday Howard. He had a great match against Thiago Silva. Lost to him, but right after that, this steroid implication comes out. He beat Brandon Vera, but the 3 ruling out, does that bring Brandon Vera back? I mean,
it does bring Brandon Vera back. Brandon Vera was actually brought back prior to the announcement of Thiago. Talking Thiago Alves or Silva? I'm having a
Thiago Alves, maybe.
Alves, excuse me. Yeah. Okay, I want to make sure that I had the right Thiago. There's so many Thiagos in MMA for some reason. They actually brought Brandon Vera back prior to it becoming public about this, switcheroo with the urine test. And for whatever reason, no red flag was raised with me. I was like, oh, they're giving Brandon Vera another chance. He's been a solid mid-level guy for the UFC for a long time. Really is not ever in a bad fight, even if he doesn't win. So I thought there wasn't anything more to it with them bringing him back. But when it came out over the week that there was this incident involving his last fight and his opponent trying to do the Lawrence Taylor switcheroo with the urine test, as we all remember, Lawrence Taylor used apple juice back in the day. They brought him back, so Brandon Vera is back.
It is Thiago Silva too. Excuse me, it was Thiago Silva. Sinister, what's your take on all this?
I totally agree with Peter. It's pretty much on the same level when it comes to this testing, and it's gotta be pretty stupid. Other than that, he could have used his girlfriend's urine and ended up pregnant. So.
It's not even. It's just so silly and so dumb. You can't help but mock the guy. It's amongst the dumbest things I've ever heard, especially in this day and age. You think technology isn't going to catch up to the fact that it's not your piss?
Right.
Yeah. So this guy.
I don't know. If I use my dog's piss, he would definitely be coming up hot for some Mary Jane.
Yours and mine both.
Oh my God.
So, we were watching the UFC Fight Live with who was there? Help me out here, guys.
Rumble?
Yes.
Anthony Rumble
UFC
Johnson?
Fight Live with Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Who had a lot to say about John Doomsday Howard after his fight.
Yes. What is going on with that? And we like you said, there's a podcast online where you can check out our interview with John Doomsday Howard, talking about, they
were supposed to match up earlier in both of their careers, and Anthony Crumble Johnson backed out, claiming he had like an ACL or something injury, backed out, and I believe I want to say Dooms went on a 5-0 run, after that, and now that Dooms is injured and he was resting up, now Anthony Crumble comes out and wants to talk trash about John Doomsday Howard and call him out.
Are you facetiously calling him Crumble?
I do believe he is.
Crumble, that's what I believe the word was about him. He crumbled under the pressure, and here's the deal though. I mean, this is, if Dana White's looking at this, he's thinking, something. I gotta get this fight off right, because this would be a good fight to really boost, because everybody knows, 3 in a row and you're out, which is where John Doomsday Howard stands, unfortunately, because he had a referee stop in his bout, whereas he had an eye injury and the ref stopped it, and then his last fight went the distance and he lost a decision against a guy that realistically was way above his level, that he still fought his ass off against. So it would be nice to see this.
I think that we're going to start to see the 3-fight rule dissipate slowly and slower and slower. I mean, what are you going to do? You're just going to move them down to Strike Force or something like that? I mean, you can't just be hemorrhaging fighters like that, especially with Bellator up on your heels, and Bellator's really, 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 really growing.
Well, let's remember, it's not a rule set in stone.
Yeah. And honestly, John is a hell of a. I mean, John's a contender. Any way you look at it, John is a contender. He's just, he just took a fight on a loose whim. And I mean, the whole Thiago thing. I mean, I look at that severe now because that got me thinking if he's been doing it, if he just now got caught, how long has this cat been doing it?
And you raise an interesting question. I remember there was someone on HGNet's MMA news show a while ago that said he believed 50% of mixed martial artists were using steroids, and I believe it might have been Ken Shamrock who made that statement. It does make you wonder about how many guys in MMA are on the juice.
Yeah, I mean, you look at when Pitbull first came in. I mean, he was a beast, and I mean, a machine, and I mean, he was chiseled out of granite, and I mean, that was the first thing that hit my head. My mind was, this is the biggest Brazilian I've ever fucking seen. I mean, and I've seen some pretty big, thick Brazilians, but this dude is thicker than Vitor Belfort. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, this dude is big.
DB, were you about to say something there?
Yeah, but I forgot.
50% seems like an awfully small number, especially when you look at baseball leadoff guys. Tiniest guys out on the field are taking steroids. The punter in NFL is taking steroids. It just seems like to me that'd be more like a 95% are on roids.
No, I got it. The 3-fight thing for me is I think it should be 3 shitty fights. Because just like the last UFC that I was at, I really don't think that Mark Campman should have a strike against him for a fight that I feel like he won. I think it should be 3 fights that were either shitty or you get knocked the fuck out, or
they should have a worst fight of the night bonus deduction or person
Mark
deduction.
Camp was awarded, and that
we
was
need yellow cards back.
Yeah, like they do in Pride. You're used to do, anyways.
Yellow cards.
Now, what I was really impressed with, the big talk of it is, me being a Blasian. I'm half Korean, half black. I was big in supporting Chan Sung Young and his defeat over Leonard Garcia with the submission I haven't seen pulled off in ages. He pulled off a twister to submit Leonard Garcia. This was incredible. What was your guys' take on this fight? Did you see that coming?
No way. I never saw it coming.
No way? Sinister, you sound far away.
You gotta hold that down because I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And me and Rick discussed it last week, and I was like, wow, I had to go home and check that out again just to see. And Rick was real excited about it.
Submission of the year.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I love the Twister, dude. I've been watching the Twister, and studying it, and learning how to apply it in a real fight, and to actually see the Korean Zombie pull it off, man. Literally, dude, I ain't gonna exaggerate, dude. I busted a nut so big you could have filled like 3 or 4 shot glasses. I could have impregnated every bitch in New Jersey.
Hey,
whoa!
This Ustream, watch
somebody's getting child
reactions. What Rico's saying.
Yeah, you see these reactions in Ustream. And so, what were you practicing the Twister for? Were you practicing for DB? You gonna take DB in a Twister? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't. I imagine this guy putting someone in a Twister. He's already busting nuts watching it. I mean, it's gonna
Exactly.
This could get really scary. I'm gonna stay away from this guy when he gets angry.
I'm just saying, don't let me in the cage, because if I ever Twister submit somebody, you're gonna see it running down my leg.
All right, now I was very surprised at the Amir Sadala defeating DeMarcus Johnson. He looked very good. I thought he was looking very water after his come off the Ultimate Fighter. I just didn't think Amir had it in him, but the guy looked incredible.
I didn't ever think much of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I have to say something about Amir Sadala. There have been people who have echoed the sentiment, which I think that one of you just echoed, and another one of you, I think, was about to say, never been impressed with him, this and that. No. One thing that people have to remember about him was that he went on to the Ultimate Fighter with no professional professional fighting experience and made his proper MMA debut in the UFC. That is rare and unprecedented to make your pro debut in the UFC. And to go on the run he has gone on in the highest level of mixed martial arts that exists in the world right now, I think it's fairly impressive considering the lack of experience he came into that show with.
Oh, no, and to Peter, to reword what I was saying earlier, I actually like Amir Sadallah. I actually look forward to watching him fight. I did not like DeMarquez Johnson when he was in The Ultimate Fighter. I thought that he looked like, shit when he was fighting there. And, I was like, well, maybe it's just, being on the show, being stressed out. When, watching him fight his first fight at that, the Ultimate, or the Fight Night Live, too, with, him getting knocked out, it was just not, I just didn't think he's that good of a fighter. So, I mean, I had, Sadallah winning, as my picks, because I just don't like DeMarquez Johnson. I think Sadallah needs to get into the ring more and be more proactive. So that way he could, get more skills, get more fights under his belt. I mean, he's not a flash in the pan, I don't think, but I could seriously see him like being, somewhat of a gatekeeper.
Well, right now he's at that level of prospects. He's not a contender yet. He's a prospect, in my opinion, and someone that's still developing.
I think DeMarquez Johnson, I was impressed with him. I don't know. So I thought he had a good performance. I thought he held his own, I guess, maybe sort of say. I was leaning towards him to win this match, but, Sadallah came out and did his thing. Just want to announce real quick, we're looking to have Chuck O'Neill on the 21st here on the Final Round Show. He is a contestant on The Ultimate Fighter, which you can see on Spike every Wednesday at 9. And he's fighting for Brock Lesnar. So I'm going to be very excited to have that interview come over here on the Final Round Show here at Event Level. Been watching the show. Pretty interesting show. You look at Brock Lesnar, everybody looks at him as the big villain, this big, dumb, roided out brute, or whatever you want to say. I'm not going to say he's on roids, but the dude's just massive.
Dana calls him the most underrated fighter in the UFC now.
I'm just disappointed they didn't have to fight their way on the show this time.
Oh yeah, exactly. You got a great point there, Bill. Like, I wanted to see the fight to get into the house. I wanted to see those brawls in the first episode. Why did they take that away?
Yeah, that was great TV.
Injuries.
Cool. The Forrest Griffin Stephan Bonner fight. I mean, that's what made the show have all the seasons.
Absolutely.
That was the meat of the show. Was that amazing fight?
Yeah, but you're saying the injuries?
Yeah, I believe it was the injuries you had. I remember last season there was a guy who got cut really bad in those prelims. That cut bothered them all season. So I think that was a way to get rid of that. You got guys getting hurt, plus you had guys who were inexperienced.
Man, rub some dirt on it.
Exactly, Bill.
Drink some motherfucking mud and be a man.
Walk it off.
Man up. Get in the league now.
It's not, but it's not even so much a question of that. I mean, if a cut is too bad, the commission will not allow you to fight, and that has nothing to do with being a man or not. If the commission says you can't fight, they're not going to allow you to fight, and you're screwed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question because I'm a novice in this.
Sure.
So we're talking about steroid usage. Is there a governing body that's really investigating, or does anything fly?
The governing bodies in mixed martial arts is the state commission that regulate, and I believe right now 48 out of 50 states do regulate it, or something to that effect. There's only 2 or 3 states that do not have a regulatory commission doing mixed martial arts where it is legal. I mean, of course, New York, you can't have MMA shows to begin with, but some states have stricter and sterner policies than others.
Well, if you're saying like 50% are on steroids, and that's
I think
that's not even inaccurate.
Well, you got steroids, man. You come up off a cycle.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I think that they should test for HGH in NASCAR. Enough said.
Oh man, imagine that scandal. Imagine that scandal.
Yeah, no, I can't go there.
Yeah, but I got a lot of more respect for.
Same answer for baseball is MMA. Just start a juice league and a natural league. Well, I want to see the juice. Fight? Hell.
The Juice League.
Yeah, I got my bowling night once a week. I take my HGH.
Yeah, he does.
The bowling alley right over here. These guys are jacked.
Nice.
I just want to say I went bowling the other day and bowled 2 turkeys. I don't want to toot my own horn.
Woo!
I got some kills on the pin.
That's really impressive.
I bowled a 4-banger on Connect Bowling.
It is for a half black, half Asian. I'll tell you that.
All right.
Okay, okay.
I'll take that.
I can't bowl.
Hey guys,
You know, officially now, if you guys ever come down here, I've got a bowl with you now.
Okay.
Nice. I'll spot you 100 pins.
What's that?
God.
Guys, while we're somewhat on the topic,
I miss doing league bowling. I really do.
What's up, Peter?
while we're somewhat on the topic of the Ultimate Fighter, before we stray away from that, I wanted to propose to all of you an idea that I have for making this season of the Ultimate Fighter a little bit more enjoyable. And it is something that I want you to tell your friends about, spread on the internet, and ultimately I do want to get back to me with the credit, okay?
Okay.
This is the Ultimate Fighter drinking game that I have created, having just
I'm in.
I like where this is
Consider
going
me
already.
in already.
Whatever your liquid of choice may be, do a shot every time Brock Lesnar either says chicken salad turns to chicken shit, or when he says every given Sunday. He has said each statement about a dozen times in the first 2 episodes. You'll be schlammered by the end of the show.
Now I may tune in.
I know, right?
Watch that thing twice.
That's right. Put that on the DVR and just keep repeating.
The first time, the first episode of the show, I said, "My God, this guy says chicken salad and chicken shit more than anyone I've ever met in my life." Second episode, it doesn't end, and then he adds the every given Sunday. He says that about 3-4 times the episode.
He thinks he feels so clever about that, like, chicken salad, chicken shit comment. If you watch it, you can tell he's got a little smile on his face. Like, I'm clever.
Clever. I made it smart, funny.
All right, man. I wanted to get in. Coming up, the next UFC 129 fight card looks pretty stacked, man. I'm pretty excited about it. Nate Diaz on it. Matashenko, Brills, Bocek versus Ben Henderson, Machida, Couture, Hominick versus Aldo, and of course Shields and George St. Pierre, GSP.
Oh yeah.
Now, everybody's saying that GSP is gonna kill Jake Shields. Do you guys feel that way? Or what?
I agree.
I feel Jake Shields is much more competitive in this fight than a lot of people give him credit for. I think a lot of people are basing Jake Shields off his last and only performance in the UFC, but prior to coming to
Which
the
was
UFC,
ugly.
It was. No
Hump
question
fest.
about it. But prior to coming to the UFC, he was riding such a strong winning streak against good opposition. I actually think that he'll be fairly competitive with GSP. And here's the other thing you got to remember. The one and only GSP fight, actually not the one and only, I thought the Dan Hardy fight wouldn't be competitive, and it really wasn't, but Dan Hardy at least hung in there and made it entertaining. The one and only GSP fight that I said is an absolute massacre and is going to be over quick and is going to be gruesome did end up being quick and did end up being brutal, but it was the opposite way everyone thought it was going to be. It was when GSP fought Nick Serra for the first time. I thought Nick Serra was going to get his head knocked off in about 30 seconds. I thought that fight was Matt Serra. Nick Serra is his brother who fought for Cage Fighting Fury, excuse me. Yeah. I thought that it was going to be I thought it was an absolute mismatch going in, and I couldn't believe they were putting it on pay-per-view. What do you know? Matt Serra, the brother of Nick Serra, goes in there and shocks the world, and I think that's the biggest upset in UFC history. But I do think that Jake Shields is a lot more competitive with GSP than a lot of people give him credit for going into this fight. With that being said, I just can't find myself to pick against GSP at this juncture.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, Jake Shields is a hell of a fighter, and I mean, I've got him. Actually, no, I don't. I don't have him listed as my pound for pound top 10. Sorry, my pound for pound top 10 is nice, but I don't have him listed.
Top 10?
Yeah, I did a top 10 pound for pound for event.
You
level.
don't have GSP in your top 10.
Hell no, I got Eddie Alvarez.
Wow,
No, I got
come
GSP.
on.
I don't have
Wait,
Jake Shields.
Wait,
He doesn't have Jake Shields, not GSP.
I don't have Jake Shields. I have GSP as number 2.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you're.
No, I'd be dumb not to have him.
So, Sinister, what's your take on this fight?
I
like
think
GSP.
GSP?
Yeah, I like GSP. Even though Shields is building up some steam, people are kind of liking him. People are kind of giving him this edge for some reason. I think GSP is going to come out, and I think GSP is going to dominate. I like GSP in the first round.
DB?
Oh, yo, I was just trying to fill in time because I seen him take a bite as soon as you asked a question.
Bill?
I'm going GSP. He's just all-around better fighter. I will say second-round submission.
I'm surprised that a lot of you from the get-go are choosing GSP to end the fight within the distance. He has sort of garnered an unfortunate reputation for himself in recent years for all of his fights going the distance.
Now, who's sexier, GSP or Jake Shields? That's the ladies.
DJ Rick O is sexier than both of those.
I'll answer for Tisha Rodriguez, who we've had on the show. She would say GSP.
Ladies?
I'd say Rico.
Now,
Yeah, Rico.
Wow.
No, I think Sinister. That's my vote, baby.
Wow. Incredible.
Hey, I'm confident in my sexuality. I'll say GSP.
Now, Chief.
Yeah.
Chief, have you seen a GSP fight?
No, I have to be honest. I'm a novice when it comes to this, so I haven't. So I'm going to do my research for next week.
Okay.
And she's going to be like, he is a sexy piece of man meat.
I am. That's my. Because if Bill thinks he's hot, then I know he's good looking.
I didn't go that far. I just think he's more attractive.
Cup the balls, swallow the man gravy.
And that promo for that UFC 129 is sick, man. I was
it's
loving
awesome.
that.
With Jake Shields looking back, that's one of the best promos they've done.
Oh, God, I was loving it, man. Getting chills. Couture versus Machida.
I'm very interested in this fight. Keith is saying, I actually think I'm very interested in this fight. And the reason why I'm interested is because...
Right?
Keith's very upset with this fight, but I'm interested in this fight because Randy Couture has not fought a real mixed martial artist prime in a while. Lyoto Machida is a real elite fighter, and I'm curious to see if Randy Couture can still compete at that level. With all due respect to his last two opponents, James Toney had no business being in a UFC octagon.
Yeah.
Mark Coleman was so past his prime, and the sport had passed it by a little bit, even though he is a legendary fighter, that you knew Couture was going to take care of business and do it rather quickly. He hasn't won against a real fighter since he fought Brandon Vera, I believe, in 2009. And you got to remember, a lot of people felt Brandon Vera deserved the nod in that fight. So I'm curious to see how Randy Couture is going to do against a guy where everyone was saying he was the future of the UFC light heavyweight division not too long ago.
Well, I look at it like this. I think it's going to be a real big contrast to styles, considering that Couture is a mat technician as well as a cage technician, and Machida is just really hard to get a hold of. I mean, look at Hua had a hell of a time the first fight, and in the second fight he caught him good, but that's because he figured him out. I mean, I honestly see this going the way of Randy Couture, just through the fact that Randy's in-ring experience and being able to press a guy up against the cage and dirty box them. And I mean, Randy is a freakishly strong dude. I mean, he held in there with Brock Lesnar, you know what I'm saying, up against the cage. And then Brock did a reverse, and then Randy did a reverse on Brock. And I mean, that just goes to show you how strong Randy really is. So, I mean, it's no doubt it's going to be a big, huge fight, and I'm looking forward to it. But I just see Randy winning it.
And one thing that's interesting about this is that, if you recall, Randy Couture had said that he was leaning towards retiring from fighting, and that he would only entertain another fight if what he called a novelty fight came into the fold, i.e. another James Toney or a Coleman fight, and that's not what this is. Or Fader. That's not what this is at all against Lyoto Machida. And I'm curious to see, win or lose, if Randy Couture wants to continue with his fighting career, because once you have started to discuss the possibility of retiring, I think it's in the back of your mind, and it's hard not to get that thought to the forefront of your mind, especially when you're getting punched in the face.
Well, in my honest opinion, I mean, this is something to kind of tease you afterwards. But with Fedor, moving down to light heavyweight, and plus M1 and Zuffa in talks with utilizing Fedor, I think that the dream fight could finally happen. I mean, both fighters are light heavyweights, so I'd like to see a fight.
Where was it reported that? Where was it reported that Zuffa was in talks with M1?
It's on ShareDog.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, it's on ShareDog.
Dream. DB, you're gonna say something there.
Oh, I was. It's went way past, but I was just gonna say I can't believe that there's anybody left that has ever fought Mark Coleman. I mean, that's such a different era that tour to go. And like Peter said, I gotta agree with that. Unless you go into a fight clear-headed, thinking this is what I want to do more than anything else. If you're thinking at all about retirement, then that's almost kind of like when a fighter starts to think, I can lose this fight, then that's when they lose the fight. And if a guy's already thinking, I maybe should retire, it's time. If you're asking yourself that question, it's definitely time.
Sinister,
he did retire once.
Sinister, man, you look like you're burning to say something on here. You were oohing it on in the background.
You know what? It's a bounce back fight for both fighters. It's something to get them back on a track that they need to get on. Randy needs to get back on a certain track. Machida needs to get back on the track. It's a tough one for me to pick, but Randy's a little bit more aggressive. Machida, the last fight he fought, he lost. And Shogun, that first fight, he pretty much ran from him. I felt he kind of stole that first win. So I was so glad when he lost that second one because Machida has a certain way. He likes to run from people and then sucker you in, and then he gets you. I don't think that Randy's a guy that's going to fall for that. I think Randy's going to take it and force Machida to fight a fight that he doesn't want to fight. Both guys need this win, but I think it's a bounce back fight, and I hate to be the guy to choose it. I want to lean towards Machida because he's been in that ring a little bit longer. He's had a few more fights, but I like the strength. I like Randy's strength. I think Randy takes this one.
Wow. Here's what
really is a coin flip. It really is a coin flip, and I'm going to take Randy just for the simple fact of if this is going to be his last fight, I'd want to go out with a win.
I feel that. I think what were you going to say, DB?
And I don't think he's going to be able to do what he wants to do with Machida. Like you said, Machida, it's not really running. It's really his style of fighting, and it is, one of the only good karate-based fighters out there, and his sprawl is nasty, and he really makes it hard for people to do with him what they want to. And I'm calling Machida.
I'm gonna say Randy better load up on the Geritol, the HGH and Geritol.
Y'all said the same shit last time with the James Toney fight about how Randy Couture was going to get knocked out by James Toney.
I didn't say that.
And how old he was, and he made James Toney look like a fool.
Come on, I didn't think James Toney stood a chance, dude.
I know, Ragamuffin was the one fucking around with that.
Yeah.
Hey, did you all read my shit? I think a good dream fight would be Kung Lee versus Machida.
Kung Lee?
Yeah, Kung Lee.
Before I head to the break, I'm going to head to a break real quick and then come back and close out the show here. We have a Strike Force coming up this weekend, and you have Nick Diaz versus Paul Daly. Now, who takes this fight, Strike Force? Paul Daly, I absolutely hate after he sucker punched.
Yeah, but do you think you'll win? Plenty of people out there that are awful human beings that could kick your ass.
Nick Diaz. That's a good point. Nick Diaz is the pride of Strike Force. He is their golden boy. You know what I'm saying?
And let's not act like Nick Diaz is an upstanding citizen either. I mean, really.
I was smoking pot before the Gomi fight.
I want my kid to grow up just to be like Nick Diaz.
I was supposed to call a Nick Diaz boxing match in Sacramento a few years ago. He was fighting on the undercard of Oleg Moskaya versus Nagy Aguilera. And when the fight sort of just stopped being talked about, I said to the promoter, I said, why is Nick Diaz all of a sudden off the card? He said, he never took the drug test the commission wanted him to. I'm like, okay, that explains that.
Wow.
Smoking
pot. Yeah, because he smokes a lot of pot.
Maybe it's medicinal.
They should
against Gomi.
They really shouldn't, because it doesn't have anything to do with it.
How can pot be an enhancer to fight?
Right, that's not a
think it would be
Depending
like
on the strain, and apparently you guys know nothing about pot, but medicinal marijuana has more than multiple uses depending on the strain. Certain strains can be used as a painkiller. Certain strains can be used as a muscle relaxer.
I'm calling bullshit. That's the last thing I would want to do. Is
get your ass to California, or get your ass to Cali, and go get yourself to to a dispensary and talk to one of the doctors there, dude, and get yourself some pot.
I got my favorite dispensary, and it helps me play video games.
I don't know if it's so much a medical issue as it is a legal issue. It's illegal, and therefore I don't think that the commission, which is a government agency, wants to in any way make it seem like they're supporting it.
It's illegal to possess marijuana. It is not illegal to ingest marijuana.
And there's states where it's decriminalized, 6 states in the U.S., so it's different where you go. But the ultimate thing is, a guy that smokes pot is no more dangerous than the guy that doesn't. The guy that doesn't is more dangerous than the guy that does.
I'll put my money on that guy unless it's Nick Diaz. And
I agree with left man.
I agree with Bill. They need to test for pot in video game. If they did like Call of Duty, Halo, whatever, those competitions.
StarCraft 2.
Test for pot.
Goddamn Koreans are smoking pot.
That would kill.
Turn in Japanese.
All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. We're going to wrap up the show here. So stay tuned. We're going to take a little shout out from our sponsors. Listening to the final round on eventglove.com.
I can tell you do. I know you want me.
You're tuned into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked.
WhooBazoo Radio.
HatchickRadio.com. Eventslevels.com.
Talk, little ma, got me Jones and Sona wants to stalk, little ma. I don't want my come across a little odd, but you on my life right now, it's kinda important, little ma. It's unfortunate that I love you to death. It's a message that may cause me to die, cause me to lie. Cause pain, though you numb things, gonna watch you rain, frost in July. Force me to follow you, knowing we need God. Telling me that you love me, but only leading me on. I'm in the clutches and now she won't let me go. Will I ever find another to love me such as yourself? Got you sprawled out on my reflection. You give me that white girl affection. Got me sprung, don't wanna let go. Sometimes I feel out of control. I want more for sure.
you, even though you're no good.
You ever been with a white girl?
You're tuned into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked.
Hey, what up, everybody? Listening to the Final Round Show on eventlevel.com. Man, great show tonight. Definitely did rock. I want to give my shout outs real quick to my peoples. I want to give a shout out to King Tony doing his thing, Stunt Rider. Shouts out to the WhooBazoo gang, Bill David,
Thank you.
Chief showing up, and
Thanks for having us.
Oh man, it was fun time, good times. Sinister and Peter Zimbor out there. Crazy stuff,
on
man.
Ustream.
On Ustream, doing everything Ustream. And yeah, man, it was a great show. Shouts out to Hatchet Radio for syndicating us. Awesome show, man, and can't wait till next week. It just keeps getting crazier. We have more guests lined up. Like I said, coming up on the 21st, we have Chuck O'Neal from The Ultimate Fighter, and rumors we may have Joe Luaz on coming up. Excited about that too. So definitely excited about the shows to come.
Gentlemen, is it all right if I get a mention in before we leave? I wanted to mention something happening this weekend I'm a part of.
Okay, yeah, sure. So yeah, right now I'm just gonna go around and let everybody get their promo and shots out, and obviously Peter Zimbor is ready, locked and loaded. So go ahead, Peter, get it in.
Well, this Sunday night, and I should preface this by saying that I did read some of the Skype comments coming in prior to the show, and it looked like a lot of you had watched WrestleMania last weekend. Well, this Sunday night, a website that I, in fact, own, WrestleStream.com, will present its first ever online pay-per-view of a professional wrestling event. I've done some online pay-per-view streaming with boxing and mixed martial arts in the past. We've been getting an overwhelming demand from a lot of wrestling promoters to get involved in the wrestling game, and we've decided to do that with WrestleStream.com. So this Sunday night, 8 p.m., www.WrestleStream.com will present its first ever online pay-per-view for just $9.99, and on the card will be former WWE superstar and original member of the NWO, Scott Hall, otherwise known as Razor Ramon, also former WWE Tag Team Champion Scotty 2 Hotty, and former ECW star Colin Delaney and Spike Dudley will be a part of the show. So I hope everyone checks out WrestleStream.com this Sunday night at 8 p.m. It's $9.99. Just sign in. Remember your username and password. You can pre-order now, WrestleStream.com. And I do hope that all the listeners at EventLevel.com check it out.
Wow. Incredible. Yep.
Badass.
Shouts out to WrestleMania. Shouts out to The Undertaker.
And I should also mention, just because a friend of mine is on the show and I missed it, MTV's America's Best Dance Crew, which I believe just ended a few minutes ago, vote for the Funk Phenomenon from my hometown of Brockton, Massachusetts.
Nice, man. Nice. Sinister. Got some promo? Shots up?
I got some big shout-outs for next week, but I do have a big shout-out to Noel Godin, who was here last week. His album drops on the 12th. Next week we will be at the record release party at the Felt. And then I won't be here next week because I will be hosting, emceeing the EIF Revlon 5K fundraiser for the EIF Revlon 5K run, which is in New York on Saturday.
You running that one?
I'm hosting the fundraiser, which is going to be at the Liberty Hotel.
Are you running it?
I wish.
I'm saying this.
Shout out to those nachos.
The chili and crab cakes are going to help, dude.
No way. My lap band is killing me right now. Killing me.
DB.
Yo. Great show, everybody. Thanks. Shout out. Everybody who supports us.
Shout out to the stunt bikers, man.
Yes.
Sacrificing kneecaps.
Yeah, right? Oh.
Rico.
Yo, what's up, man? I want to give it up to everybody over at Hatchet Radio and Event Level, Peter, and the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Sinister, as well as I want to give it up to everybody that's tuned in, our new people, Bill and Chief. I also want to give it up to also Hot Meat and Longstroke McGee and the Reverend Reggie Watson.
I actually just put up a promo that Chuck Neal sent us from Spike Television. So if you're watching on Ustream, it just popped up. Nice little picture of Chuck O'Neal from The Ultimate Fighter. Spike, Wednesdays, 9 o'clock. He'll be here the 21st.
Wow. Nice. Super excited about that. And Leffy, I heard you grunt there because I let Rick go.
No. It wasn't because of that. It was the kneecap. I was just like,
It's definitely
ew.
Leffy. It's delicious. I'm gonna give him a shout out.
I want to thank you guys for enabling me to have the best gross out of my week. And shout outs once again to everybody at eventlevel.com, everybody with Indie Republic Network, and as always, shout outs to everybody at hatchetradio.com. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for being there with us through every step. And I want to thank Chief and Bill so much. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for
I'm having
us.
a blast talking to you guys.
Seriously.
It's all about the sports, you know?
I got one more.
Keep going.
I want to give it up to my girlfriend, Emily. She wasn't tuned in last night, and now she's tuned in.
Emily!
You are so gay.
I know, that's why I'm coming over to fuck you later on tonight.
Somebody's getting heated, man. Somebody's getting heated.
Wow.
For what?
Don't be trying to get all swole because you're in front of your girl, okay? Rick,
I'm not swelling. I'm just telling TB he better be ready for the ass race.
Oh man. Anyway,
Yeah, you know you got to get video. Don't do it if you're not getting video.
On to the next one. Bill Davidson.
Well, I just want to thank you guys at Event Level and here at Indie Republic for having us tonight. If you're a big sports fan, check out Tuesday nights on WhooBazoo.com. It's around the cooler, 8 to 10 Eastern, followed right after by College Showtime.
Awesome. And Chief 187.
Well, I want to thank you all, too. I had a great time at Event Level. I think you all are incredibly talented and funny and enjoyable. I want to shout out to our boys who we were missing tonight. That would be Curtis. That would be Eric and RJ. We hope you join us at some point, but we hope you all join us at WhooBazoo.com because we have a lot of fun over there. And I'm asking you to all check out Chief187.com because I'm quite prolific in the writing area and would love you to check out what I do. Thanks so much for tonight.
All right, great, man. Yeah, check out WhooBazoo.com. Check out Chief 187. Missed you guys out here tonight. Great show. Check out our podcasts on the site. Go to eventlevel.com. Click on Get Media, and you can get podcasts and download your favorite shows that we have, like tonight, which was off the hook, man. Incredible.
Absolutely.
Definitely tune in next Thursday again for the final round show, and then Wednesday I have the main event. Interview hot indie music artists. Come to eventlevel.com, join the community, sign up. You can follow me on my Twitter. It is at Master Wills, all one word, Master Wills with a Z. And you'll get updates about the show, about interviewing, about subjects, and you can get your Twitter on, and we'll join up, man, and share it. Start tweeting. It sounds so weird saying that. Anyway. Ski. Anyway, man, it was a great show. Thank you to all our guests. Thank you to everybody that listened, tuned in, everybody that got to check out the Ustream and see Sinister and Peter's pretty face on the Ustream. We're going to keep that rocking. Definitely. Shouts out to Brockton, Massachusetts.
Home, City of the Champions, baby. Harry's Pub, baby. Want to be Harry's Pub? Just come down here.
Shouts out to Harry's Pub.
Harry's Pub.
Doing it big, man.
Harry's Pub.
Brockton.
Yep. Best crab cakes in the area.
Yeah, I'm hurting right now.
Anyway, man, that's it. That's me, Master Will, signing off. Great show. Come back, tune in, join our community, do it all, man. This is the final round show on eventlevel.com. Peace.
WhooBazoo Radio.
HatchetRadio.com. Eventslevelers.com.
Join eventlevel.com, and together we can rule the galaxy.
Got a big fat chronic sack and a packet of sweets in my back pocket. Please, please don't knock it until you try. Down the Mac on the yellow, blue, brown, or black woman. You're not allowed a reaction until you try. Next seems take things a bit less serious. If you're curious why, you knock it till you try. 'Cause you ain't done it, hold on to it, don't screw it up for me and all of mine. Knock it until you try. As I walk through routine habits, I start to feel you disapprove. Not a vibe that I enjoy from anyone. No, 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 no. And as I talk to whoever's listening, sharing my view on some things, simple-minded sighs remind me what this will likely bring. Judging by the tone of eye in which you choose to look at me, I get the impression, I'm guessing, that you do not agree. The way I say and do my thing bring no excuse, and no, I won't apologize. Knock it until you try. Chronic sack and a packet of sweets in my back pocket. Please, please don't knock it until you try. Down the Mac on the yellow, blue, brown, or black woman. You're not allowed a reaction until you try. Next seems things a bit less serious. If you're curious why, knock it till you try. 'Cause you ain't done it, hold on to it, don't screw it up for me and all of mine. Knock it until you try. Can't take you serious when you decide to demonize the things that make you curious instead of letting me live my life. And the living smoke that lights upon your faces, only there to make sure I'm aware you carry hatred. The way my brain takes in and relays information back into action, I'm patiently asking you not to try.
Into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked. Join eventlevel.com, and together we can rule the galaxy.
What is best for me, when we both know secretly you would love to walk in my shoes. 'Cause you ain't done it, or don't do it, don't screw it up for me and all of mine. But knock it until you try.
Eventslevelers.com.